Meeting of the,
There we go.
good evening, welcome to the August 18th meeting of the Historic Conservation Commission. I'm Craig Evans, Vice Chairman. Our Chairman, Gary Later, is out of town. I'll introduce the members here. Our Historic Officer, Jeffrey Long. Desiree Klauser, resident of the Mount Airy District. Todd Chambers, registered architect with business interest in the South Side. And Mike Simonson, city building inspector. I'm ad-libbing our purpose here to a certain extent, in the sense that we are charted with the responsibility of maintaining a sense of historic preservation within the South Bethlehem and Mount Airy districts of Bethlehem. This is to be in accordance with the Secretary of Interior standards and our local ordinance. We are volunteers. We have an interest in preservation both here and as it applies in a much broader scope. We will look to cover the items on the agenda this evening in the order they were presented. And at this point, we would first have the historic officer give the background information on the application, response then from the applicant with respect to any details of questions raised in the historic officer's review. And then we'll have discussion and we'll put this to a vote. At the conclusion of the vote on approving a recommendation for certificate of appropriateness, there are three possibilities. It can be approved, it can be denied, and denied with a sense of what changes would be necessary in order to garner an approval. That then will be submitted to City Council, who has the final say on the resolution. With that, we'll begin our meeting.
All right, thank you, Mr. Evans. Agenda item number 1 and number 2 are adjacent properties, but because they're different street addresses, the city requests that we at least pass separate resolutions. I prepare my assessment individually. You can stop me after 305 East 4th Street, ask me to continue, whatever works best for you, but we do need 2 separate resolutions.
At this point, let's read through both of them. I'm assuming that they'll be pretty much similar in your appraisal.
Sure. Thank you. Building description, periods on defining features for 305 East 4th Street. If the applicants could sign in, and please print your name so I can read them. Thank you. This structure is a 2.5-story, 3-bay, semi-detached wood frame residential building. The gable roof is sheathed in medium gray asphalt shingles and includes a central dormer with a gable roof and 2 1/1 double hung windows. The building dates from circa 1890 and once included a single-story front porch across the entire front facade. Similar structures nearby indicate that it originally had classical revival architectural details. However, those have been lost over time. Sometime during the mid-20th century, the front porch was enclosed and a second story was added. However, remnants of the porch steps are still visible at the far left. Changes over time include horizontal siding at the upper floor level, unpainted stucco at the entry floor level, inappropriate windows at both floor levels, and inappropriate flush metal entrance door installed off-center along with unpainted pressure-treated railings. The structure also received rear additions during the mid to late 20th century. And I mention those because they are visible from the greenway, which is a public right-of-way from the rear. Proposed alterations, I would counter that the agenda is incorrect. I'm just leaving the proposed alterations as a general statement. The applicant proposes to conduct various exterior renovations to the front, side, and rear facades. The guideline citations I use for my assessment include the Secretary of Interior Standards number 9, that has to do with new additions, exterior alterations, or related new construction. Specifically, they won't destroy historic materials, features, spatial relationships that characterize the property. They should differentiate themselves from the old, but be compatible with the historical materials, features, size, scale, and proportion, as well as massing to protect the integrity of the property and its environment. Also, the Bethlehem Ordinance that created the Historic Conservation District, quote, "It is the purpose and intent of the City of Bethlehem to promote, protect, enhance, and preserve historic resources and traditional community character for the educational, cultural, economic, and general welfare of the public through the preservation, protection, and regulation of buildings and areas of historic interest or importance within the city." So my evaluation, the effect on the historic district, and recommendations. The certificate of appropriateness application, the supplemental drawing sheets, and the accompanying project narrative indicate the intent to demolish the existing chimney, to install new roofing and gutters, to install new siding, to install new windows, to demolish both existing sets of entrance steps, to move the front entrance location, to install a new entrance door, and to construct a new entrance steps, as well as to install a new lighting fixture at the right of the new entrance. So that is what I gleaned from the drawings, the narrative, and the application. So that contradicts what's in the agenda. I just want to point that out. During the proposed renovations, the existing electrical service and the meter at the left corner of the front facade will be located to the side facade if feasible. Similarly, the existing gas service line and associated meter at the front will be attempted to be removed. The applicant should clarify the need to demolish the existing chimney before any appropriateness can be determined. So in the past, this body has requested at least justification for taking down a chimney. It states remove chimney. There could be a problem. I don't know. We're just asking for an understanding why they're proposing to demolish it. The proposal to replace the existing asphalt shingles on the front and back of the main roof and both roof dormers with new GAF slate line asphalt shingles is appropriate. Pending confirmation that the proposed asphalt shingles are GAF slate line non-architectural shingles. We've had that in the past where there is that differentiation that's important for the resolution, for the motion, and also an antique slate color. That is the color that this body has confirmed in the past is appropriate. The applicant should confirm during the removal of the existing roofing that any damaged wood will be replaced in kind, with a new ice and water shield installed in all valleys and gutter ridges, and new underlayment to be installed over the decking at all remaining areas. There should be a roof vent detail. I didn't see that called out, and I don't see a vent on the side elevation, simply to ensure product longevity. A valley should be open and lined with copper flashing rather than woven closed with asphalt shingles. New metal drip edges should be installed and painted to match the adjacent trim. Applicant should also clarify the intentions with the gutters and downspouts. A couple of times it was mentioned, different kinds of things. Our rule is typically if they're to be replaced, the new gutters should be half round and the new metal downspout should be round. There's a proposal to install new fiber cement lap siding with a smooth finish in either a sage or a Navajo beige color to complement the adjacent brick color, meaning the brick of the adjacent property, for the front, side, and rear facades, which is appropriate. They do, however, propose a 4-inch siding reveal exposure, and in my opinion, that warrants discussion. I did go back to various examples of discussion of cement lap siding, and typically this body requests a 7-inch reveal exposure rather than a 4-inch, which has been in the past considered appropriate for the district. The applicant should clarify if the existing siding at the front and rear dormers will remain, or if that will be replaced with lap siding to match proposed elsewhere. The proposal to install new double-hung composite wood or fiberglass wood-clad windows with 2/2 simulated divided lights in either off-white or almond color at office sides is appropriate. Typically, however, we do request product spreadsheets, cut sheets. Oftentimes, the applicant will bring a sample to the meeting, especially here, there's no brand mentioned. We do have a series of brands in the past that you did determine as appropriate. I'm hesitant to say that all composite or fiberglass windows are the same. So perhaps something after the fact or at a subsequent meeting. Again, either product materials or a real sample seems to prove really helpful to answer those kind of questions. According to drawing sheet A 2.0, replacement dormer windows might become casements if needed for emergency egress. I didn't know if maybe subsequent to the drawing they've clarified that. Again, that's something maybe to put in the motion. We've had that in the past, that because of the change of use or intent to use the upper story, that windows are changed to casements to allow for emergency egress. Just curious if they ultimately came to the conclusion that's necessary. According to the same drawing sheet, the windows up at the upper floor level will be lengthened to 5 feet tall, while windows at the entry level will be reconfigured so that the existing central entrance opening receives a new window, while the existing window opening at the right receives a new door, an entrance door. Those seem appropriate based on the existing conditions and the drawing sheets. There's mention made of a potential for casements also here to appear like double hungs at the entry and upper floor levels. So yet again, just curious if they've already made that determination. If so, we can integrate that into the motion. The drawings imply that they're double hungs. The same drawing sheet mentions composite wood trim and depicts appropriately expressed sills and lintels that extend beyond the actual window openings. Again, we ask for that. We request that if that's not indicated. Oftentimes, the applicant will bring in a sample so we can understand the profiles of such trim, or perhaps you do a motion where that could be submitted after the fact. There's a proposal to install new 6-panel smooth fiberglass front entrance door and with a glazed transom within the existing window opening at the far right. That would be, based on the drawing, considered appropriate. Again, sometimes a cut sheet or some kind of a sample is helpful just because not all doors are created equal. They show the transom includes the street numbers within the glazing, which is also appropriate. There are plenty of examples within the district that have the street numbers within the transom glazing. The new concrete steps with 2 risers leading to this new front entrance is appropriate, and because of the 2 risers requires no handrail. In the narrative, they describe demolishing the 2 existing sets of concrete steps. So currently we have middle set that leads to the existing door. The door is to be removed. There's an existing step at the left, so the original door had steps. Those steps remain. They show to demolish them, which is appropriate because they're no longer needed. Just curious what takes the place of those steps. Is the foundation under the water table to be parged, stuccoed, painted, again for the motion. Drawing sheet A 2.1, so different drawing sheet, indicates an area adjacent to the rear. So we're looking at the rear. On either side of the entrance door, it says to receive new siding or stucco. Again, I didn't know if they had further investigated that to see if so it could be placed in the motion. Obviously, either of those proposals would seem appropriate considering the existing conditions. Drawing sheet Drawing sheet 2A 2.0 indicates the intent to install a lantern-style wall sconce to the right of the entrance door. I couldn't find any other details, so perhaps they brought some product literature or maybe a description or something, maybe an understanding of the material, the size, those kind of things. Typically, we do integrate within the motion that no conduits, raceways, or junction boxes should be visible that supply that outlet on the exterior facade. Our design guidelines mentioned warm white light bulbs are appropriate within the district. If they choose to use LED lighting, this body has determined maximum 3000 Kelvin color temperature is considered appropriate and similar to what would be considered warm white incandescence. So that concludes my assessment of 305 East 4th Street.
Would you, Chris, would you prefer to deal with the questions to the buildings individually?
Might be better to do that. It's
Okay.
a long list.
Sure, no problem.
So I just wanted to, jotted down a few of them. The chimney conditions,
They're broken on the inside and they're not necessary anymore.
so in
So
very
so
poor
remove them.
condition. I did not check that myself, but that was, so just to explain, Chad has hired us to help revise drawings that were done by a different architect to get a permit. They did not really address what the Historic Commission is concerned about. So we're helping on the exteriors. So the A 2.1 drawing is kind of a composite. It's their drawing with our markups clouded. And so there are a few things that I may not have answers for. So I will look to Chad. So the chimneys are
The chimneys are shredded on the inside and we're going with electric heat pumps for the heat. And everything's gonna be kind of new and efficient, so the chimneys will no longer be necessary. And they take up part of the room anyway, so it make the room a little bigger.
okay. In terms of roof vent, there probably will be a roof vent, just didn't show up on the drawings. And if there's anything in particular that needs to be done there, if you could let us know. I think it would be a sort of standard shingled roof vent. The various specifications, the open valleys, drip edge, things like that. I think when you receive the COA, there'll be some specifics there that you want to follow. Gutters and downspouts for the front, we have indicated as half round. The rear, I think we may not have addressed that at the rear. But they could be half round as well.
Yeah, if it makes a difference, I mean, I'll do half round if you guys want it. I prefer the 6-inch ones because they hold more and they cause less problems with.
The 6-inch K.
Yeah, I prefer that, but if you guys want for the rear, they're half round, I'll do that as well.
In terms of the exposure dimension, we're open to whatever the board decides is the most appropriate.
The 7-inch has been our standard, and
It seems a little big to me, but that's, it appears a little bit more 1960s than earlier, but maybe that's the better thing to shoot for.
the thinking on it, I think, largely has been that it stays cleaner.
Really?
It washes itself
Interesting.
better.
Okay.
And it's conventional. Just,
Yeah, I mean, there's a variety of dimensions.
Yeah, I don't have a preference either way. I think, there's plenty of colonial examples that are 4 inches, right?
4 or
And
5, 6. Then
whatever
once
they
you
had
start
laying
getting this
around.
7, I start thinking it looks like aluminum siding. That's my.
well, there was a reason aluminum siding it started out at 8 inches because that was its historic reference. So
Yeah, I think that Chad's probably okay with whatever you feel is the most appropriate.
We have traditionally approved 7-inch without any reservation.
We're talking for the rear, correct?
We have some in the front.
Oh, so the front 7-inch half round or
No,
7-inch
no,
straight?
we're talking siding now. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The siding, the amount that's
Oh,
exposed.
I understand. Okay.
So any problem with going with
Yeah, whatever.
7?
As long as we can make it look nice.
It'll look nice. And the sides, just so you know, the sides are very tight to adjacent buildings, so you can't really see them. They are the wider exposure, and there's no change expected there.
Okay.
Um,
The sides on the back, Christine?
the side in the center of the gable ends, you're very close to the adjacent buildings. As you come further out, then we're planning to change where there's new construction. There'll be new fiber cement siding, and it's drawn as the wider exposure.
You're talking about an A2.1.
Yes. So if you look at the top elevation there, that would be, it indicates new fiber cement siding at the rear piece. And there's sort of a demarcation line, I think it's here, yeah, of sort of what's existing and what's been being redone.
Okay.
The windows are planned to be Anderson, and would have, where we have the Muntins would be their version of the true divided light. It's called full divided light. It's a little bit different nomenclature. And I forget which, is it's a 100 series? I
That's the one
think,
we're talking about.
yeah, 100 series, which is their composite window. The egress windows, I was a little uncertain on which ones would need to be, but the first floor, I believe, is all living room space on the front. And that when you go to the second floor, we might need 1 or 2 of those to be egress windows. I have to just check the drawings, which I don't have the plans here. But the third floor for sure.
Just a quick question. Is the third floor, the dormer there, is it 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms?
The third floor, if we're just talking, well, each unit is the same, but it's 1 whole bedroom.
1 whole bedroom?
Yeah,
each
I
one?
think there's a bathroom up there as well.
So technically, we'd only need 1, but I'd like to have them look alike.
No, I understand. I just,
Right?
yeah, I was just asking it.
I mean, I assume you would too. Yeah. The trim, I think, is going to be very plain, just a flat, no molding. The door, probably true. What is it called? The name just went.
Therma-Tru?
Therma-Tru. Thank you.
Yeah, not me. I just said it
Therma-Tru,
loud.
smooth. I mean, that's what I've spec'd before, and I think that's what you had used. We didn't select the light fixture yet, so that could be something done as a submittal, perhaps. Now, Jeff, you mentioned something about stucco or siding at the back. I think on the 305, it's all siding. And just the stucco, any repair to the foundation level would be the only stucco back there on 305. And it is GAF slate line shingle roofing, the antique slate color.
Did they mention they wanted 3-tab or architectural?
No architectural, so it's the flat, it's the GAF slate line.
This
It's not
3-tab just next to each other?
Yep.
Okay.
none of the.
Mhm.
Yeah, and all roof boards, everything would be repaired. Any ice and water shield would be done.
Just to go back, the stucco had to do with the front water table area when you remove.
Oh,
this-
okay, yeah, so
Remove the 2 sets of stairs.
yes, those will be purged and blended in with the rest of the foundation. Okay, I think I covered everything.
Just to be like this, right?
I have a couple of questions. The low slope roof on the front of
Ah.
305 is existing to remain?
That's a good
'Cause it's
question.
kind of like hatched.
I think that you're doing new roofing here as well, right?
A,
So the structure of it is to remain,
the main
Christine, right? You
roofing,
might,
I didn't.
Oh, the
really-
I believe the structure just stays. Yeah. If that, yeah. I don't know exactly what the slope is of that piece.
it doesn't matter to me. I'm just curious as to whether it was being rebuilt. And the reason I'm asking is it's a minor detail, but if you look at the distance between the head of the windows and the soffit in the picture, it seems smaller than what your drawing depicts.
I think
So,
it's a
yeah.
drawing error.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, we're going to have enough room to get the nice header trim across there between the soffit. I think it's probably just enough room, but that's what led to my confusion. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. So this is not getting reframed.
I think so.
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
Got it.
I think that was a hopeful appearance.
So you're just going to extend the height of the windows by moving the sill.
Down.
Yep.
They go down.
Got it. Okay. And then the only other, again, detail question I had, it looks like you're depicting the same sill detailing on the windows on the brick building. And I know we're talking about the sided building right now, but is the intent for them to
They're
match?
very different in terms of because the brick, the masonry is,
It looks look like there's the cast stone or
yeah, and
matching sill on the. It's hard to see in the picture. I was looking on Google Street View. So that we can talk about that when we get to that part.
they will probably
that
be a
color.
little different.
The only reason I'm mentioning it is because I think like why replace the sills on the brick building?
Not planning.
I think the
Two.
brick will
Okay.
stay mostly the same.
Yeah, actually, it took us a little while to figure out what we had on the brick building, whether it was brick coat
Right.
or real brick. And in the end, we think it is a real brick, maybe a concrete brick
Hmm.
that's stained. And we're not planning to change any cast sills or any other cast pieces.
Good. Cool. That's all the questions I had.
Okay, anybody else?
Except for cutting these in half, right?
Since we need to approve these individually,
If I may, I did not do my assessment of the second building. Mr. Chambers started to go in that direction, but I have not done that.
No.
assessment.
It's only because I noticed the detail. I should
Sure.
have held it, Jeff. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, I just
ahead.
meant, I still have stuff to say on the other property. So you can either.
well, no, but what I was getting at was that we could treat this one to a vote at this point and then deal with the second.
Yep.
And since we've had the discussion. Okay, that being the case.
What are these buildings being converted into?
They were two commercial units. Now they're going to be a 2-unit and 2-unit. So the whole thing's going to be 4 total units.
Do we have a motion to recommend the certificate of appropriateness?
I just have one more question. With that being said, I didn't know that was going to be, these are each going to be two units. So so you enter into the main door on 305 and then there's a staircase in there. You go up, or
Which, are we talking about the front or the back?
we're talking about 305. We're talking about from the front angle. So I'll go into,
So when you walk into that front door on 305, it gets you right into the living room / kitchen. Like,
okay.
you don't go up, you're going right in.
Okay. Then where's the access to the second unit on
And
that?
Access to the second unit is from the rear.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay. That's-
They're almost like 4 townhomes by themselves.
Kind of front, back?
Yeah.
Front, back.
Mhm. And the front 2 units have 3 floors, and the back 2 units are only 2 floors.
So there's a third floor bedroom on both units?
On both front units,
and
But
none
not
on
the
not on
back.
the rear units.
All right, can we have a motion with respect to this certificate of appropriateness?
Yeah, I can make a motion. A motion to approve the certificate of appropriateness for 305 East 4th Street for the exterior renovations with the following items. 7-inch reveal on the siding. Gutters and downspouts to be half round and round on the front. The third floor bedroom window should be a casement window. A minimum of one of the windows should be a casement window, sorry. The chimney, since it's no longer in service, can be removed. The roof to be replaced and the roof patched appropriately and to be replaced with GAF slate line shingles, asphalt slate line shingles, antique slate in color. With the normal HCC roof specifications for replacements, will be included in the COA. And with the following submittals due to the code enforcement office for final approval, the door specification sheet, the window specification sheet, and the light fixture specification sheet. Although all 3 do seem appropriate, just confirmation from the chair and the code and the historic officer, code enforcement and the historic officer.
Have we covered everything, Jeff?
Arching after the steps are removed to match existing. And 2 steps, concrete steps, do not require a rail.
Second?
I'll second.
I just want one more thing. I have one question. I'm sorry, before I go on. In your drawing A202.0, I'm going to capture it just in case. The emergency fixtures above the entry doors,
Yes. There's a little circle there.
correct? Are you going to have those lights or are you going to use the wall mounted lights as your emergency? I'm asking because I want to capture. the-
So there, you have to have an emergency light.
That's still Dawn tape light.
Well, you can wire the light on the side to also be an emergency light.
It's not required there in that situation. That's why I'm
Probably
asking.
isn't. Yeah.
That's why I'm asking if you're going to have it because I want to include it. If you're not, I'm just going to ignore it.
These are not required.
They're not
Oh,
required. Then
goodness.
we'll just do the lights to the side.
And I'm okay. Then I'm good.
Okay, thanks.
And I'll second that.
All right, thanks, Desiree.
Exterior inspection, window inspection.
Desiree, vote.
Aye.
The light
Aye.
fixture.
Aye.
And I.
All right, thank you. Agenda item number 2 is the adjacent structure 307 East 4th Street. There are some similarities, but there are some differences as well, both in the building description and their proposals. This structure is a 2.5-story, 3-bay, semi-detached, wood frame, mixed-use commercial and residential building. So it has a commercial use now. It sounds like it's going to all residential hereafter. Okay. The gable roof is sheathed in dark gray asphalt shingles and includes a central dormer with a gable roof and 2 1/1 double hung windows. The building dates from 1890 and was once included a single-story front porch across the entire front facade. Similar structures nearby indicate that it originally had classical revival architectural details. However, those have been lost over time. Sometime during the early to mid 20th century, the front porch was replaced with a two-story brick addition. I agree with Christine, it's a brick addition. It looks from a distance to be brick coat, but when you get closer to it, you can see there's a true mortar joints and the parapet extends, etc. And those are not just express sills and lintels; those really are individual units. So I agree. So it has a two-story brick addition with an upper parapet and a flat roof, along with expressed window sills and lintels. The structure also received rear additions during the mid to late 20th century. Same description of proposed alterations. I'm just keeping it very neutral. The applicant proposes to conduct various exterior renovations to the front, side, and rear facades. The guideline citations, the same ones as agenda number 1, Secretary of Interior Standard number 9, and the Bethlehem Ordinance that created the district. My evaluation, the effect on the district, and recommendations. The certificate of appropriateness application, the supplemental drawing sheets, and the accompanying project narrative indicate the intent to demolish the existing chimney. We had that before. Install new roofing we had before. Install new windows we had before. And install a new lighting fixture at the right of the front entrance we had before. And install new siding at the side and rear facades. Again, as Christine said before, it's not one constant rear facade. There's multiples, so she can get into those delineation during the discussion. During the process of renovation, a through wall air conditioner and window bars will be removed from the upper floor level of the side facade. So this enclosed porch, or better said, the porch was replaced by a two-story addition. When you turn the corner, because that two-story addition extends into the public right-of-way, you definitely can see that upper window and that through wall window unit. So I'm pleased that they're addressing those as part of these renovations. So as with the previous agenda item, the applicant should clarify the chimney we heard just now, so I'm assuming the justification is the same for this unit. Similarly, the proposal to replace the asphalt shingles on the front, back, main roofs, and both roof dormers is appropriate. We had the clarifications that they agreed to the various standard language, so I'm assuming that's the same here. They show an existing downspout, I guess, that leads from the flat roof of the upper parapet on the front facade. I can't remember if there's notation on the side or rear elevation, so we can get to that in a minute. The proposal to, quote, gently clean and leave unpainted the existing front brick facade is appropriate. I failed to mention the one interior standard concerning treatments of masonry facades. They're not proposing any kind of sandblasting or anything, so I didn't call attention to any kind of recipes or anything. If they're stating just gently clean, and that literally is what it is. The applicant should clarify that what they plan to do with the void in the brick facade when the air conditioning unit is removed. I think they call it out. I think there's a depiction of it. It's just not labeled what's planned. Similar to the other agenda item, the proposal to install new double-hung composite wood or fiberglass wood-clad windows with 2/2 simulated divided lights in the color proposed is appropriate, pending submittals. Mr. Simonson proposed that those things could be done after the fact, so perhaps you want to make a similar motion. I'm assuming they would be quite similar windows, if not the same windows, for this address as well. The proposal to paint the existing 4-panel front door entrance is appropriate. We don't get into color renditions. The transom includes the street numbers within glazing. That's a copy and paste issue. This does not have.
Yeah, because we don't think we have room for that.
No problem. It was just a copy and paste issue. So I will delete that. Drawing sheet 2.1 indicates the rear facade and select portions of the side facade will receive fiber cement lap siding. We already talked about exposure, the proposed color. Again, we don't get into color, but because they do propose a color, you could integrate that into the motion. Would work well with the existing brick facade. It wasn't clear to me yet again about the siding in the rear dormers, so perhaps they could mention if that's to be retained or also replaced. It says that the side facade will be pressure washed. It doesn't seem to be historic material, so I'm not pushing on much detail. I just thought if they could help us understand the delineation of what's existing siding versus what's new proposed, that would just be helpful. Drawing sheet A 2.0 indicates the intent to install the lantern-style wall sconce next to the window. We just heard about that. In reference to submittals of the fixture type, again, the language should include no conduits, raceways, or junction boxes. And of course, the 3000 Kelvin, and I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that in the previous motion. If it's going to be LED, color temperature maximum 3000 to satisfy the guidelines which say that illumination should be warm white. So this one a bit simpler than the previous one, but very similar issues.
So all the specifications will be very similar in terms of windows, doors, light fixture, and siding. So the rear, there's some reconstruction of things going on at the back, and it's like a small addition, I think, up here, so that you, yeah, you're going to end up on the second floor aligned from side to side, where you have the two 1/1 double hungs. That'll be all the same plane. And then when you come down to the first floor, you've got on 305, it extends out a little further on the right as you look at it. And then the brick that is there, there's changes going on there'll be different openings and things going on there. So our thought was that might end up having to be stuccoed if not, if it looks okay without stucco. I just don't know quite how the new openings and changes there will look in the end. So we're proposing that would get stucco. But when you turn the corner around to the side, that brick's in pretty good shape there. So I didn't see that having to occur on the sides, the rear side. The front brick was going to remain in all of its details. The area where we remove the air conditioner, we're not going to match that brick. So my suggestion is that we do a stucco inset, slightly inset, in a neutral color. The siding that basically is at the main gable on the lower right elevation drawing, that siding is to remain. It's indicated to be cleaned, pressure washed, or lightly washed. The dormers, those are pretty much getting reconstructed. Those rear dormers, shed dormers, so they'll have new siding. Those windows are rather small. That's why we probably need the egress on the front, even though those are single rooms, I believe.
For the front?
Yeah. I think that in general covers everything.
Are there any questions?
It's a little difficult for me to follow the scope of the work on the rear
I know.
because of the drawings, but I think I get it. The pictures are super helpful for that, Christine, so thank you.
It's making the rear a little more sensible.
Yeah.
Things now will be coplanar
Yeah.
in the second floor at least.
Window sills on the front brick portion, you're not replacing them. They're just,
No, that's just a drawing error. I don't.
no, it's fine.
Yeah.
You could interpret it, as I sat and studied it more, you could interpret it as what's here.
Those might get
I-
painted though, correct?
I would suggest that if we're infilling the air conditioning opening with stucco, I'd paint it to match the brick
Sounds good.
instead of doing a contrasting color. That's
Yeah.
just my personal preference. So it kind of visually disappears.
Yep. It's a bright red.
Yeah, it really is. Bright red building. The Clifford House. I think, the only other question I had is the scupper for the gutter or for the downspout.
Right.
Seems to be a little janky. If there's any way you could clean that up a little bit as part of this, I think that would help. But, you know, I don't think we can make you replace it, right? But I would,
Can I just look at that?
yeah.
I don't
It's actually easier to see in Google Street View because you could zoom in.
Mhm.
It's like a stainless steel box instead of something that kind of coordinates with the downspout color.
So it's a little, just,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of, doesn't even look like it's attached real well.
Right. And that downspout drains to the sidewalk, right? Not to, yeah. So,
And you're also proposing on, or was it the other one? I apologize if I missed it. You wanted to try to get the electrical on the side?
That's the hope.
Okay. Good luck with the gas, but maybe the
The
electric.
gas is
No
gone
gas.
now.
yeah, they're not
Gas
going to
is
need
going.
Oh, yeah, you're,
Yeah.
okay, so you get rid of the meters.
And
okay.
those are already gone.
But the sign on the building's coming off too, 307?
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
That's-
Right. Yep.
Doesn't need half moon in the front.
Are there any other questions or discussion?
Doesn't need a half moon. So
No, I really don't have any.
That's right.
Do we have a motion to recommend for certificate of appropriateness?
I'll motion this one. Motion to approve renovations to 307 East 4th Street as presented with the understanding that the opening for the AC unit will be infilled sensitively with stucco. And I think that's really, let's also say that the siding exposure will match that of 305.
Mhm.
And cut sheets.
Yeah, and then the same
Yeah,
cut sheets.
and we'll handle all of the cut sheets for light fixtures, windows, and the doors remaining, so we don't need to do anything with that, so. I think it's just light
And if
fixture.
for
and
some
windows.
reason that door gets replaced, it would match the other door. So
Perfect.
Second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Take a vote. Desiree?
Aye.
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 And I.
thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the questions.
Wanted to make a
It's not
motion
the meeting, right?
Approve the meeting
Did you
from
put
the
it?
last
Yeah.
meeting.
Look at the
Minutes, yep.
Minutes from the last meeting.
Just
Second.
a quick, oops, sorry.
All in favor of the minutes from last meeting?
Aye.
Aye.
A question on the submittals. Do we email them to
Me.
you?
Thank you. All right, that's it.
That's it.
Did you sign in on the sheet?
Done.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right.
Is there any other business?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Done.